Since people in antiquity paid little to no attention to impersonal cause-effect relationships, keyword being impersonal, they never said what happened when something happened. They always said who done it. There's no Hebrew verb for it rained. It's always God sent the rain or God brings the rain. Therefore, they paid little to no attention to the biomedical aspects of disease. So healers focused on persons in their social settings rather than on organs and their biotechnical functions. Yes, Dave?
Is that why Jesus at times says when he heals someone, go show yourself to the priest so that they were reintegrated into the society?
He's got to get them ready for theocracy. In theocracy, how can they be Israelites proper if they can't function in the temple? Socially rooted symptoms rather than adequate and impersonal causes were what bothered ancient people. Physicians preferred to talk about illnesses rather than treat them. Failed treatment could mean death for the physician. That's why they talked about it. Such physicians are referred to infrequently in the New Testament, mostly in proverbial sayings, physician heal thyself, common in contemporary Mediterranean literature. Folk healers like Jesus, shamanic figures, were different. They were people willing to use their hands and risk a failed treatment, and they were more commonly available to peasants. Such folk healers were considered shamans, holy men. Jesus appears as such in the Gospels. He is a spirit-filled prophet who vanquishes unclean spirits, he's an exorcist, and a variety of illnesses and restores people to their proper places in the community. Yes or no?
Yes.
He's a folk healer. Such folk healers accept all symptoms as important and see a direct relationship between symptoms and belief systems. This means that the healing process is considered directly related to a person's solidarity with and loyalty to the overall belief system typical of the culture in general. Mark chapter 6, verse 5 to 6. So Jesus was not able to perform any mighty deed in Nazareth, apart from healing a few sick people by laying his hands on them. Why laying hands? Because there's energy in Jesus' hands. Nope, that's American answer. Healing hands on an unclean person means
Accepted.
I'm unclean like you in solidarity, or you're clean like me. You have been accepted. Daughter, your faith has made you whole. He was amazed at their lack of faith, their lack of loyalty. Matthew chapter 13, verse 58, and Jesus did not work any mighty deeds there because of their lack of loyalty. This perspective remains only implicit in our healthcare delivery system. Okay, you're checked out. Go, here's the bill. A refocusing of one's meaning in life, metanoia, is thus essential to healing illnesses. Community acceptance of a healer's actions is essential as well. Luke chapter 7, verse 16. Fear seized them all, and they glorified God, exclaiming, a great prophet has arisen in our midst, and God has visited his people. Luke chapter 9, verse 8. Others were saying, Elijah has appeared. Still others, one of the ancient prophets has arisen, as Jesus goes about on his healing adventures. Verse 19, they said in reply, who do people say that I am? John the Dunker. Others, Elijah. Still others, one of the ancient prophets has arisen. The healer's action would be a matter of public comment. Matthew 9, verse 34, but the Pharisees said, he drives out demons by the prince of demons. Mark 3, verse 22, the scribes who had come from Jerusalem said, he is possessed by Beelzebul, and by the prince of demons he drives out demons. Luke 11, verse 15, some of them said, by the power of Beelzebul, the prince of demons, he drives out demons. Consider also, remember the story about Jesus, and he goes to the man chained up in the Gerasenes, right? And he sends the demons in him, legion, into the pigs, and then they fall off the cliff. I love that story. Deviled ham. I mean, that's great. Obviously, he's in an area where the Israelites there and non-Israelites are not really practicing kosher food laws, right? Okay, and you had Israelites doing that too back then. These are Hellenized Israelites. Those group of people, those who witnessed the incident, explained to them what had happened to the possessed man and to the swine, and they, the community, began to beg Jesus, the exorcist, to leave, their folk healer, to leave their district. Yeah, you're ruining our business. What you just did to the pigs. Luke chapter 8, verses 36 to 37. Those who witnessed it told them how the possessed man had been healed, saved. The entire population of the region of the Gerasenes asked Jesus to leave them because they were seized with great fear. So in this case, the community prefers that the prophetic folk healer go elsewhere. Okay, what do you think of that? Any thoughts? What are we supposed to be as a church? Curers or healers?
Healers.
Sunday used to say, this community comes down with chicken pox, which you know it's highly contagious at that time. So they would all be in exile.
They would never say chicken pox. They don't know anything. They don't know chicken pox. They would say that they come down with a demon that causes the itching and the scratching.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that because it's highly
It's an illness, sickness, yeah.
you're going to have a lot of them that way. So they're going to be all exiled. So who's going to be left?
Well, here's the thing. Jesus can barter with alternate reality. Holy men and women can barter with alternate reality in ways that we Western people don't understand and are completely turned off because we consider all that pathological and nonsense. Right? So for us, it's very difficult to imagine that actually, yeah, there is this amazing mystery that goes on in life, and sometimes actual physical conditions can be altered. But even then, they don't think it's curing a disease. There's healing going on. But the most important aspect is a healer comes to them and heals them. They are restored to meaning in their existence.
In other words, their sin is gone.
Yes. Which we call in the sacrament of reconciliation a sacrament of healing. Yes? This is very important, folks. We're supposed to be healing people. That means including the excluded. Are we doing that? Or are we tribal in the United States churches? Are we tribal? That's the key word, right? NPR for 2017. Are we tribal? Tribal. Tribal, that's not healing. That's splitting everybody up into their camps and head nodding together. Is that what Jesus would have done?
There's a huge difference in viewing medicine in a Western and an Eastern view, because the Eastern view considers the whole person.
Healing, holistic.
Yeah, and then the Western view is purely biomedical, purely medication.
Hones in on one aspect of reality. By the way, forgets that it covers up a whole bunch of stuff while honing in on one area.